This episode is brought to you by Nana's Deli. Attention food lovers, have you been to Nana's Bistro yet? If not, you are missing out. Nana's Deli has just unveiled their newly renovated dine-in space and it's ready for you to enjoy. The updated menu has all your favorites plus a new star, Food Czar Flats, served with every salad, sandwich, or grill order. But let's not forget the classics that made Nana's famous. Their mouth-watering tuna, legendary sloppy joes, hearty soups, and that unbeatable pastrami sandwich. This is comfort food done right. Got a special occasion? Nana's Bistro is perfect for private events, birthdays, anniversaries, or just because. You name it, they'll make it unforgettable. Since 1981, Nana's has been a tradition, and they're still going strong. And if you're in Jersey City, you already know, Nana's is there too, bringing their signature flavors to your neighborhood. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Nana's, enjoy your favorites, and don't forget those Food Czar Flats. Nana's Deli, serving tradition, flavor, and love since 1981. Mention Food Czar Podcast to receive 10% off your next order. Go to nanasdeli.com for more information. Hey there, listeners. Here's a quick question. When was the last time you took a good look at your insurance policies? If you're unsure, don't worry. Beth Sultan at Strategic Insurance Agency has you covered. Strategic Insurance, right here in Livingston, has been helping people protect what matters most for over 25 years. Beth Sultan, a licensed property and casualty insurance broker, is ready to make sure your home, auto, or business is fully covered at the best price possible. The best part? Beth offers a free, no-pressure review of your current policies. All it takes is a quick chat and a couple of documents to ensure you've got the best coverage for your needs. So don't put it off. Call Beth Sultan today at 917-488-2523 or email her at bsultan@siapc.com. Let her and the team at Strategic Insurance put their 25 years of expertise to work for you. Strategic Insurance Agency, trusted in the community for over 2 decades.
This is Behind the Counter with the Food Czar. Here's Heidi.
Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Counter with the Food Czar. This episode was recorded in front of a live audience at Temple B'nai Abraham in Livingston, New Jersey on February 27, 2025. Our guest is content creator Max Cohen, also known as Murray Hillboy. This is an amazing episode, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, let's settle in. I think we need a sip of water.
Yeah, second to breathe.
We actually, just so everybody knows, Max and I have met before. It took us, we had a 2-hour conversation. We could have talked for 5 more. We actually had to stop talking in there because we're going to have nothing to talk about in here. So let me just take a quick sip. Hold on, hold my mic.
Why am I drinking water? I haven't said a word yet. Hi, everybody. Well, it is so amazing to be here. Trust me, this is a bigger treat for me than it is for you guys. Seeing real life, living, breathing people instead of being alone in my bedroom is my favorite night.
That sounded good. So, okay. So the first question, I don't even know if it's a question. This is how we're gonna start. Ready? Okay. So if someone asked you, Max Cohen, what do you do for a living? What's the answer to that?
Cross-dress. No. What do I do for a living? Simply put, I try to bring about Jewish joy. A more complicated answer is, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a video editor, I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a businessman, so it depends who's asking, I guess.
So, okay, so, for some people, they don't understand the world of, I'm going to call you a content creator.
Sure. Oh, yeah, that is the right answer. I'm a content creator. I should have said that.
That's the short version. Okay, so when I first met you, I asked you, this was the first question I asked you, and I said, Max, did you always know that you wanted to be famous?
I mean, listen, when you got it, you got it, and you can't, you don't really have a choice. But of course not. I mean, I'm a nice Jewish boy from a good Jewish family. I thought I'd be a doctor, a banker, or a lawyer. So I don't, famous. Maybe I'd be a really famous lawyer, I guess.
Well, I mean, I think we all think you're famous, right? I mean, yeah. I actually equate this to being Max's Saturday Night Live audition.
Something like that.
We should have started it off by saying live. It's Thursday night in Livingston, New Jersey. Yeah, okay. So let's go back in time, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, little Max Cohen. Little Max Cohen. So little Max Cohen didn't know he wanted to be famous. What was little Max Cohen?
He was a lot of things. He was finding out who he was. At my heart, I'm a theater kid, always. So drawn to the stage, drawn to making people laugh, and always had a creative side to me. I don't think it ever really took full form until these past year and a half.
Were you like a singer, a dancer, a musical
No.
instrument?
I was like an art kid. I drew a lot. I was very quiet. I kept to myself. I didn't have too many friends. I don't know.
It's not a trick
Now
question.
I'm nervous.
I know, you're like, all of a sudden, you're like, shut down. Okay, so you were a theatrical kid.
Yeah.
Okay, and then at age 16...
Oh, okay, so let's get into it. Fine. Okay, so of course I was in the closet and gay, which was a difficult thing to be. And I was in the weird bunk at camp, and I had like very few friends. So I kind of had to, figure out how in this world I'm gonna, become someone, become something. I assume that's what you meant when you brought up 16. Yes? No?
Well, I mean, you just go with where you're going, but
yeah.
There's also a lot to unpack in that one sentence that you just did.
Right.
I came out, I was in the weird bunk at camp. I mean, there's a lot going on.
I know.
Hold on, let's frame it this way. I think why everybody loves you is that you make uncomfortable things comfortable, right? Let's start there.
Sure.
Right? So if we had to break it down, yes, at age 16, you discover that what?
I'm gay.
Okay.
Oh wait, whoa, what? What do I discover? I don't know. Wait.
Again, not a trick question. Yeah. No, so at 16, you come out.
Yeah.
And you sing a lovely song.
Right, okay. So my chorus teacher takes us to see a Broadway show. It was called Falsettos. It's about, there's a gay couple that's part of the plot. And I said, hey, local chorus teacher, I loved this show. I'm gay, and this meant so much to me. He's like, you know what? You should sing a song about that to the entire high school. I'm like, and as any kid would, I was like, yes, I should. That's just what I needed in my week to add on to the bullying. And I did it, and I really did it.
You were like, this is gonna turn things around.
Yeah. I'm about to be so cool.
This is the move.
No, but that really was the start of what would kind of be this, entrance, into the world, and not being afraid to be myself and authentically being who I am, and like singing and like, entertaining people through my traumas as a way of kind of overcoming them.
So did your parents, did you just...
So this thing is staged for whenever it is. Of course, the night before I'm supposed to sing this song is my dad's 50th birthday. So how can I make it about me? I'm like, yeah, like, happy 50th birthday, your son's gay, and just the check. Yeah. So, but listen, if you think my parents found out I was gay at that dinner, no. They knew from a very young age. I mean, when I was 9 years old, I wrote a musical called It's Okay to Be Different that I performed in my living room. So, if that is not in bright
do you remember any of the songs from that?
Oh my God, no. Oh God. Oh yeah, there was one song called Where Is Love, but I was like singing it about a girl. So I was confused back then. But my parents saw it coming, and I was very, very lucky. They are the most accepting, kind people in the world. So that was the easy part, which is a privilege and a blessing to be able to say that.
So you sing, you're obviously in chorus, so you're singing, and then you sing this song, and you were embraced.
I was embraced by my chorus class, for sure, because half of them were like, shit, me too. But of course, it's the age of the internet, so that was recorded by a bunch of different people. The high school got wind of it. Teachers were coming up to me, all that kind of stuff. I was like dating a boy at the time. We were the first gay couple in my high school ever. So that was a really important lesson in learning which opinions to listen to and which ones to ignore, which would become super valuable later on when I got into content. Because, my high school, there's one Jewish friend group in every grade. It's a very blue collar place, mixed bag of students. So, there were some people who were like, all right, keep that to yourself. And that is just so not me.
Yeah.
So from 16, I was like, I'm here, get used to it or get out, because I'm not moving.
I mean, it's a very brave...
oh, stop.
I mean, it's a very brave for anyone to do that. Hello. Yeah, just throw that out there. Yeah, I did not just come out. People knew that I was gay. I'm assuming that's a thing. Yeah. But it's a very brave thing to do that. But I think at 16 especially, it's very brave to own up to whatever it is that you are. And I think you show that in a lot of your videos, right? I mean, I think that's one of the things that people relate to and love about watching you is you always have this little under message. Not in all of the videos, by the way, when you're running around in your mother's shoes, but
But you know what? But even in that, in a sense, is like, I just try to do what I think is funny, what I think you guys will enjoy, and if you listen to the critiques or the voices in your head, you'll never make the video. And not that you're all content creators, but whatever making a video means to you, you have to just go with what your heart is saying, or you're never gonna get there.
Yeah, I love that. That's good.
I like that too. It sounded good when I said it.
I feel like it's a good quote. Yeah, whatever your video is to you. Okay, so that's one part of high school, and then you also say you were in the weird bunk at camp. That's a big story of yours.
Yeah. So
which, by the way, I think a lot of us know what that means, right?
Well,
yeah.
I'll explain it for you. Don't worry. So, I was in a very large age group at camp. We had 4 bunks, and 4 bunks is a lot because you know who's weird and you know who's cool. I did not know I was in the weird bunk until we were kind of older into camp, and I was like, isn't it weird that we're all picked last for every sport every time? Isn't it weird that girls won't talk to us? Why I was concerned with that, I couldn't tell you. But
still confused. Yeah.
As will happen at a lot of sleepaway camps, a lot of my friends in my bunk would get bullied out or go on a teen tour, go on a different experience. And it got to a point where with 2 summers left in camp, the camp owner calls my mom and says there's only 3 boys left in Max's bunk. We have to move, they can't exist on their own. And they're like, what bunk does he want to go to? And me being me, I said, put me in the coolest bunk. And the camp owner's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. They love me. It was not fine. I remember this first day of camp so well because I was on Long Island bus 4. We're the last bus to get to camp. And they were all standing in a line and I was like, who? I was like, nah, not me.
You're like, hey guys.
I'm your cool new bunkmate. But again, another really valuable lesson in being who you are and staying true to yourself. They ended up loving me. Those kids from my last 2 summers at camp are all my closest friends to this day. One went on to be my college roommate. 2 of them are from Livingston. Hello. Yeah. Shout out Jason Schur and Jack Bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I have no regrets about the decision that I made. And it was a learning curve for them, and it was a learning curve for me. They had to figure out, oh my God, now our bunk has a kid who can't play sports, but he is good at talking to girls. And, for me, I was just happy to have friends. I was just happy to have a group of guys.
You always said, so you say you didn't have any friends in high school, and then you get put in the weird bunk, so you have these weird friends. But that's such a thing, because did you really not have friends, or is that a shticky thing that you didn't have friends?
Right. I mean, I had a couple friends. I didn't really have a friend group, though, the way that I do now in my life.
Yeah, that's
so
okay. You only need 2 good friends.
Right. It was like the summer I turned Jappy.
Right? Isn't that
everything
the line
changed.
We all use? Yeah. You only need 2 good friends. Yeah. I'm just saying. That's what we all tell our kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were all right. You were all right. I'm telling you, you were all right. Yeah.
And I'm very lucky and blessed now. I have more than 2 good friends. I'm so close with my high school friends, camp friends, college friends. If I have to be for my videos, I need to be able to talk to everyone all the time.
You did a video also about, I guess that was the bunk when you came. What was it with the notebook?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a different thing. And that was about how I came out to my camp friends. I'm a very theatrical person, you'll learn. So I felt a need to come out to every single person that I ever met. But I wrote we have like a camp group chat with all the girls and all the boys, and we do these like notebooks at the end of the summer, your very last year, where everybody writes emotional messages, and one kid just wrote over and over for the whole first 2 pages, "You're gay, you're gay, you're gay." Obviously, at the time, I was like, not great, but I wrote, "This kid called it." I owned it. I was like, you know what? This kid called it, because everyone knew he wrote that. I was like, he was right, and I am the most accepting group of kids in the world. Like, I was so lucky to have them, and me and that kid since have like full 180, very good friends, and tons of respect for each other. So
See, people change.
when life gives you lemons that are really bad, like whatever, you make lemonade and I don't know where I'm going with that. Like sometimes
Every story does not have to
right,
end in a quote.
Sometimes crappy things just happen. But if you can always be yourself, if you can always try to look at the bright side of things, and at least for me, if you can find the humor in it, like it was funny. It really just was. Like, roll with it, rock with it.
So, okay, so now it's time. I mean, I'm giving you your timeline, by the way. Now it's time for college. Max applies to colleges. So, you don't get into your first choice. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, your first choice was?
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to go to a school with a significant Jewish population that, had good Jewish Greek life and like a good Chabad and Hillel, all that stuff. So it's the same 14 schools that we all applied to.
Yeah.
I thought I was a genius, so I ED to Cornell, because I was like, I have to go to an Ivy. That's like the easiest one, I guess. Rejected right away. And after that, I was like, fine, whatever. I'm going to Michigan. No one can stop me. That's like where you go if you're cool and Jewish.
Stop you, but admissions.
Yes, no. I bet admissions is like, yeah, we can stop you. It's actually funny, side tangent. Michigan has a question, which is like, what community do you belong to? And I wrote the community of Max Cohens, because there's so many Max Cohens. Don't do that. They hated it.
That's very funny.
But no, yeah, I was waitlisted and then deferred for Michigan. So I ended up going to my third choice, Tulane, because I was like, I'm not waiting for Michigan. Yeah. It's a very popular school now. When I went to Tulane, it was like the alternative Jew going to New Orleans. Now it's like, it is the new Michigan, but
Hold on, that's like a perfect time to like, when you did your video of the bed, the college bed in the room. Has anyone seen this video? And when you are your mother, right? Character mother, and you're like, roll wave, baby.
Yeah, of course.
That's the best.
I love, those bed decorations, each of them is a skit on their own. Anyone could record their mom doing that. I mean, it's hysterical.
Not the way you do it. Not the way you do it.
Maybe not. Yeah. Maybe not.
So you end up going to Tulane, and then you do not get into ZBT. I know it's a depressing timeline, but it ends so good. Our story ends.
It's like, give me a break.
Our story ends like amazing. So, and I'm telling you, it really does. So you don't get into ZBT your first go round. Mm-hmm. And you are like upset, depressed?
Yeah, okay. So I think your freshman year of college, like everything matters so much. Who your roommate is matters, like where you eat matters, like who you hang out with, like where you post pictures at pre-games. So of course in the moment I was devastated. I was like, how is this happening to me? I'm that kid, I'm so weird. But I didn't let it get me down. I continued my life as is. I was still going to sorority day parties and making it work. But I really did have a lot of friends who did get bids and a lot of friends in the frat. I will say, rushing a frat it's not like sorority rush. I'm seeing a lot of women in the crowd. Like, that's a very formal process. Like, she has nice hair. I know her mom. Like, she's so sweet. Boys are like, yeah, he's so chill. Like, he's just such a good dude. Or it's like, I don't fuck with him. So, I had some guys who really liked me, but it's 2018, and the guys who didn't know me are like, are we really gonna bid a gay kid? And everyone's like, I don't know. We probably just shouldn't. So they didn't. And we rush in the spring. So fall rolls around of the following year, and I just don't give up easily. So I'm like, I'm gonna be in this frat, and no one's gonna stop me, besides admissions. But this time it's like, this time it's different. And the kids who are my age were the ones running the frat, and they were like, this guy is so cool. I got my bid like the 5th day of school that year, and we rushed in the spring. And it ended up being, like when I joined my bunk at camp, it was a great investment for both of us. I joined the frat. I ended up being the apparel chair my junior year. We had the best clothing ever. Any frat people, you want to have good clothing, have a gay guy make your clothes. I mean, It was phenomenal. And even now when I post videos doing my frat stuff, everyone's like, I love the ZBT sweatshirt. Where can I get it? I'm like, I made it. And I'm done making it. It's a limited edition. You can buy it for $3,000.
Yeah.
I'll sign the bottom. And then the year after that, I was the vice president. And our vice president also runs our social. So, of course, who better to run social than a guy who knew a girl in every single sorority?
Right.
And I loved it. I mean, I'm like a ZBT till I die kind of guy. And it was such a mutually beneficial thing for both of us. And not to toot my own horn, but we did end up letting in 2 other gay kids in the years to follow.
Oh, toot that horn.
Mm-hmm.
Toot it.
And I was like, give them a chance. Who knows? One of them was a little bit annoying, but one of them was really good. So, like, I try to leave things a better way than you found it. And it ended up being a really positive experience.
What was your major in college?
Well, I wanted to go to law school, so I also wanted to get good grades, so I was a double major in English and communications, and I had to go to law school because what else do you do with those majors? I don't know. So yeah.
Okay, so you graduate from Tulane, and then you go...
Oh, my mom will be mad. I graduated from Tulane with a 3.97, and vice president of the frat, and senior editor of the student paper, and the English Honor Society. So I take, you know...
Lisa, wherever you're sitting, you should be very proud.
Right.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Me and the chip on my shoulder, I was very lucky through geography and connections. I was lucky enough to get an interview for a major law firm, Kirkland & Ellis, and then did a Euro trip with the guys in my frat. And next thing I knew, 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in an office, three-piece suit, and there's like no frat party to be seen.
Oh my God, 3-piece suit?
No, that's exaggerating.
That's what I was gonna say,
But I remember I did wear a tie, and I was like, oh, no one wears a tie here. And like I shoved it in my pocket as I was walking in. Yeah.
So, okay, now let's get into the good stuff, okay? January 14th, 2024, your first video drops.
You know me so well.
Dude,
I was like, what was January 14th?
For anyone who knows me knows I think I've never taken a note in my entire life, but every one of my friends is like, are you taking notes? And I was like, I think I have to. And I wrote out every video on these index cards. If you know my handwriting, nothing's happening with these index cards. So you decide, tell me that whole process. So you're like sitting in your law firm doing whatever, and you're dreaming about not being there.
Right. So at a law firm, as was true with all my guy friends who were in finance or real estate, were all working in our offices till 11 o'clock at night. Then I would go and study for the LSAT, and I was just so unhappy. And I go to my friends, like, do you guys hate your jobs? They're like, it's fine. I was like, oh God, really? And I quickly realized that this was not fulfilling the creative itch that I had. You know, I love to talk, I love to argue, but so much of law is also just staring at a computer, reading contracts. And really as kind of an escape, just creatively. I was still planning on going to law school, and from the encouragement of my friends, I put up a video, 2 videos. Just, I'm a funny guy. I may as well try my hand at it.
But what was the process of the video?
So my very first video ever is me singing a song from Mean Girls the Musical. Did not do well, by the way. Don't recommend. But, I was spending so much time on social media, and I was like, let me try out different things. So my next video, I gave like a controversial opinion of like why I turned my red receipts on for all my friends, and that video went viral, and it kind of just grew from...
Were you looking for it to go? Like, were you just just like passing my time, and I'm just,
And that's the best way to do it. It was just something I was doing for fun because I just wanted a creative outlet at the end of the workday to just kind of relax and do something for me. But once that second video went viral, I was like, wait a minute, there's something here. 6 videos later, I do my first like skit ever, which was so nerve-wracking for me because when you're first starting out, your videos have more sends than likes, so it's just people talking about you behind your back. And I was like, am I really gonna set up my phone in like my flex wall bedroom in my apartment and pretend to act out a scene? Like, it's just so weird. I pulled the trigger, thank God, and that got over 1 million views, and that was like my 6th video ever.
Wow.
So I was like, you know what? I should do more of these skits. And that one was like the worst guy at the bar comes up to you, and it was like, he's a horrible person, but people related to it.
So when you first dropped the first video, was your Instagram account named Murray Hillboy?
No, I think it was Just a Kid, and then it was like Just a Kid in Murray Hill, and then it was like Mac. I played around a lot until I got my branding right.
Oh, until people actually started like watching.
Right.
Okay. So you start dropping these videos, and you're starting to get noticed and you're getting traction on your social media, right? So now you're probably loving this.
Oh, I love attention. I'm loving it. It was funny because I'd work at my law firm all day, and then I'd go home and record the video. It would go viral overnight. I'd go back into the law firm, and an attorney would be like, "Did my mom send me a video of you?" And I'm like, "Everyone's mom is sending videos of me." And like these are the same attorneys who used to call me the wrong name in emails, are now stopping me in the hallway. And my paralegal friends are like, "You don't even do any work when you're here. You just write scripts," and they're like giving you kudos. So 2 months in, I quit my job. I went right out of there. And that was with 30,000 followers on TikTok, no Instagram yet. And I was like, when you have that fire and that oomph, I finally felt passion for the first time in 2 years. I was like, we got to go for it.
First of all, you're lucky at the age of 24 to find that. I'm not 24, and I'm just finding it. So were the parents... Okay.
What did my Jewish parents think when I said I'm canceling the LSAT, I'm not being a lawyer, and I'm making videos online? They almost went into cardiac arrest at the same time. I mean, like, the spit was flying through the phone. At the time that I made this career change, I was so early on. Without the numbers being there, it's really hard to kind of...
justify it.
Yeah, to trust that this is going to be a success. And it's also a little bit of a generational issue. I think that, you know, people view social media as different things, but it really is like a very up and coming, already has been, an industry that there is so much money and so much influence and power there. It really is no different than, you know, any other kind of job. But at first, for my parents, I mean, it was a tough pill to swallow. Maybe just tonight they finally have been like, you know what?
He's made it. He's made it, Cohen. He's made it.
Maybe.
Well, he's on his way. Yeah. Okay, so I know for me, the first video that was sent to me, and I think this is what resonated. I'm going to say my first video that I saw is your first video that you saw. How's that? Okay, so it was when you were at Color War Olympics and you were singing the white cheer. Yes. White team. I have that written down. Sing it. I'm like,
oh my
sing
God,
it.
what is it?
No, what is it? White team.
Oh my God.
Hold on, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is.
I couldn't even tell you.
It's the hand chopping. It was the hand chopping, and it was brilliant. But
Anywho,
I think this is sort of what set. It's here we go. Ready? Let's go, white team. We are the white team singing here tonight. We're singing loud, shining bright.
Oh God! So
now you gotta sing it.
So I first of all, I can't even do it now because I don't remember what song it was to the tune of. But I'll say that, you know, it's all a recreation of my real life. That's why it's so fun. That's why it's so easy.
Were you a Color War leader?
No, but I was the guy who wrote all of I was the only guy who did it. I was the person who wrote all the cheers, all the songs, all that kind of stuff. Like, that is just so up my alley. So, you know, I start making these skits, and I'm trying to figure out what can I bring to the world. And I was like, let me just do what I know. And that is like the camp counselors, the Jewish moms, all that kind of stuff. Like, let me breathe some life into these really meaningful people in my life that, you know, these teenage girls are just doing it as like a passing thing in their day, but like there really is such a culture and such a emotion there with all of that.
I think what's amazing, and I think why people resonate with you, is that you go through, you know, moms like me and a lot of the moms here connect with you.
White team winning, saying, I just thought of it. Okay.
There it is.
But it's like, no, because like when you're sitting there as a camper, like you have those girls like, guys, you have to get this right. White team winning, saying, are you listening? Green team's losing, just stop resisting. And like that stuff plays in my, thank God I got it.
Thank you. Thank you.
But, you know, maybe because I was like a little gay kid, like that stuff was so meaningful to me. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. Like the white team is winning. I
think that's what resonated. You know, a lot of us did go to camp, and a lot of our kids go to camp, and they come home talking about it. And
right.
I think, you know, they come home off the bus singing their
right. And you
cheers.
know what's so funny is you go to your camp or whatever, and you think, these are so unique to my camp and traditions only we have. Like every camp's the same, every mom's the same, every good family's the same. So one of the great things about making my videos is no matter how niche and specific I think they are to my lived experience, everybody can relate to it, or at least find something in it to relate to.
Is there anything that you've ever done that missed the mark, that was sort of like, you were like, this is gonna explode, and then it doesn't?
All the time. I delete them, so you don't see them. But Yeah, of course. I mean, there are things that like are just way too hyper specific, or like only 5 kids in my camp would get, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
So do you think like the camp stuff is like what's the best seller? Is it the camp stuff? Is it the
I have like name. I'm like a schizophrenic, so I have like little names for all of them. Lisa Cohen's obviously like a box office hit. She never misses. And then I call him like the worst guy ever. He takes a lot of different forms. Sometimes he's a finance.
to that too.
Sometimes he's a finance bro. Sometimes he's a frat bro. Sometimes he's the boyfriend of the girl who's being mean to you, trying to lead sing at camp. So those two are kind of my bread and butter. Because we all know people like that. And sometimes we are those people ourselves. I certainly have been.
So what's the process? So you like I'm so curious how this happens. Yes.
Okay.
You do not rest.
So, granted, my first couple of really viral videos, like when I was a mom walking around in the neighborhood, I was like home with my friends for a Jewish holiday, and we were all like bored and trying to like not go to temple, and I was like, would one of you want to like come and just, I don't know, we'll walk around the block and we'll see what we think of. So I just threw on my mom's crew neck, and I was like, I'll mention a shiva, a bar mitzvah, a divorce, a cheating scandal. So it used to be this very fun and organic process. Now it's a little bit, I'm a little bit more calculated, but there's truly so much that goes into it. I think of the idea, I'm like, okay, and then I have to do my research. So I'm texting a friend from Roslyn, what's your favorite coffee place? Texting someone at Pontiac, what's the name of your oldest camper at camp? Texting someone from like Livingston, like where do you go, just to make sure that it's accurate and it's true and people really relate to it. I never want people to feel like I'm making fun of them, but like I'm laughing with them.
Yeah.
Write the script for hours, look at it, think it's not funny, rewrite it, figure out my characters, go down to my mom's closet, and I'm like, Mom, I need everything. Anything Gucci, anything Chanel. She's like, I want to wear this. And I'm like, nope, you can't. I need it right now. Lock myself in my room. It's my phone, 2 ring lights, and a blue screen, and I'm just alone, and I do every line 17 times. Fuck you, Larry. No. Fuck you. No, she's too aggressive. Maybe something more subtle. Fuck you. And, so I do that for every single character. Then I realized I was looking the wrong way. Larry standing here, put all the outfit back on, do it again to this side. Now I'm really pissed off. I'm like, fuck, And then I'm left with like 30 minutes of footage of me just being delusional, and I have to cut it down to like 1 funny minute. Because I'm not dumb. I know when you guys see my videos, you're on the bathroom, you're waiting for something else more important to happen. I have like a split second before your thumb goes like that. Or worse, you're a kid here and your mom sends them to you and you're like, Mom, I already saw it. So, like, I get it. Like, you guys have busy lives. So I really do care so much about what I'm putting in front of your faces because, it's a passing, for me, it's my career. For you guys, it's a split second of your day. And then somehow, through the grace of God, I get a 1-minute clip that's taking me, like, at this point, 10 hours to make. And then I think of some hashtags and I press post.
So, I mean, but you do these videos like, I don't know if it's every day. I'm sure you
every other. I try every other.
Every other.
But, like, I have vacations and like.
But you can see when you, you can see when you first started, and then you slowly started introducing one character, and now, I think we also have this recent one when it's when it's everyone running through the airport.
Oh, I love that one.
There was like 8 characters in there.
Yeah, there's a TSA agent who's like in the corner, like he's doing one line. I had to get a whole outfit on just for him. But those are my favorite because that is like a verbatim recreation of my family running through the airport. My dad's like, we gotta go. I want, my family's here, so I can't get too much into that. But pills are flying. It's like a mess. But as is true with any kind of entrepreneur or someone starting their own business, you have to learn how to do everything. It's just you. So as I got more into it, I was like, I learned how to video edit and green screen and put 2 people on the screen at the same time. And it's been a learning curve, but when that video goes viral and when the people are commenting, this is so my mom, this is so my dad, I'm like, it was all worth it.
Yeah, and yes, I would think so. So what's like the next? Like, where do you take this?
What a loaded question.
I know.
My agent's also here. He asks me this like every single day. I never have a good answer.
I'm available, by the way. Listen.
Let me first answer where I am now before we say where we're going. I entered social media at a really funky time. I started posting in January of 2024, so it's been just over a year. Of course, right before that is October 7th. And I think when October 7th first happened, there was a lot of global sympathy for a second. And then right as I was posting, suddenly, especially as a young person, my social media became a really scary place. You know, all these neutral people are pro-Palestine. The world at large seems to not like Jews. And that's kind of what got me into making these more Jewish videos, because I was like, we need to laugh right now.
Yeah.
We need to enjoy each other's humor and company. And I'm just not seeing this happening anywhere else. There's a bunch of phenomenal Jewish creators who do education and talk about what's going on. But I was like, can't we still laugh, even while things are bad? So, my page kind of blossomed into this mini Jewish epicenter of culture and a place where we can just all feel safe. And I do a lot of work to make it that way. I'm deleting anti-Semitic comments all day long, every day.
That.
I mean, social media, Instagram and TikTok let you filter keywords. So Gaza, Palestine, baby murderer, genocide, Hitler, oven, soap bar, anything you could think of, I've already had to, through someone commenting it, I've already had to block it. But I'm just so dedicated to just let my page be a place where we can celebrate being Jewish and enjoy being Jewish. So I've tried,
Stop it.
But,
you have been, in a lot of your videos, you're very proud to wear your Jewish star outside. Always. Yeah. Do you think you made it comfortable for people your age? Because I think in the beginning it was scary for some people, just to wear a star, be out and about, and say you were. It was a
of course.
really weird time. But do you think you made it comfortable for your friends around you to embrace their Judaism as opposed to being afraid of it?
I like to think that I do, even if not for my friends around me, just for people looking at my videos at large. It's a hole needed to be filled. We do need Jewish content creators. We need Jewish everything. But certainly someone who's giving us a face and a name in a internet setting. And one of the awesome things about what, my videos is, for all the anti-Semitism that's going on the internet right now, so many non-Jews follow me and so many non-Jews comment this is so funny, or you guys all care about each other so much. So just knowing that even in the state that the world is now, I'm changing people's minds about who we are as a people is just the best thing. But of course, for young people right now, my little brother graduated from Harvard, so the tail end of his Harvard experience was all pro-Palestine encampments. I was in Murray Hill at 39th and 1st, right next to the UN, all pro-Palestine rallies. So hopefully, I like to think that I was kind of letting people know, still be you, now more than ever. Still be proud to be Jewish. Laugh when you're Jewish. Really, this is the time. And, other side of the room is well, now really isn't the time. And I'm it's the opposite. This is when we say we're not backing down. We're always going to be ourselves, and no one's going to be able to change that.
I think you're, yeah. And I think, you look back at some of your videos when you do the bagels on Yom Kippur.
Classic.
When you do the bar mitzvah service. Classic. When you do... even when you're the DJ introducing the parents, I'm pointing to you, but it's not really you, right? Okay. But when and they're fighting, and Larry says that it's not you, that he's having. You do make it funny, and you make it so relatable. And I think it's nice to know, even for my kids, to have a place to look at something like that and realize it is okay. It is good to, yeah.
You got to be able to laugh at certain things in life, which, by the way, my parents are very much together. After that video, everyone's like, I can't believe you made a funny video about your parents' divorce. I was like, no. My trauma's not that exposed for the world to see. But, you got to be able to laugh about it. And these are, we have so much more in common with the people around us than we think. Of course, as Jews from Jew to Jew, but whether it's Italians who are loud like we are, or Asians and Indians who always comment my parents put this much pressure on me, whoever, or Russians, or so many people who I would never think comment or DM me this is totally my community too. So it's the same stuff that we're all dealing with, just in different fonts.
Yeah.
But maybe to finally get back to your question, what's coming next? Okay.
Oh, I forgot. I even forgot what I.
No, I forgot too. Yeah. That's why I went on that whole, I'm in a really exciting place right now. I fostered this amazing community online that's not just like numbers, but real life living people with kids and moms and families and intergenerational. Evan Kahn, sorry, I just saw my old camper out of the corner of my eye, and it just caught me so off guard.
Yeah.
What's up? Sorry, I need to stop looking at you guys. But I have this really, really nice platform that goes from ages 13 to like 100, and I'm finally now getting to a place where I'm getting ready to make that jump off your phones into the real world. So is that like a one-man show? Is that stand-up comedy? Is that TV? I don't know. I'm very lucky that all of these...
That's what your agent's for.
Right. I'm very lucky that all of these things are... So I don't know which one of those realms I'm going to land in. But what I will say is no matter what it is, I'm going to be me, I'm going to be a proud Jew, and I'm always going to make you guys laugh. That's just never going to change.
Yes.
Another sidebar I just thought of. One of the reasons that, of course for me this was a passion project, but at some point it did become my full-time career, and I have so many other creators that ask me, how did you monetize so quickly? How are you able to quit your job so quickly? And my answer really is that I'm Jewish. The way that we, no. The way that we look out for each other and care for each other, like other content creators can never grow the way I did, because right from the get-go I had so many Jewish small businesses. Hey, can we pay you to promote this? Can we work with you for that? And so, word of mouth and the way that we all care for each other, like wildfire, everyone knows Murray Hillboy. And I don't think for a different community it would have happened the same way that it did. So I owe it all to you guys. Thank you. But every time you send it to your mom and she sends it to her friend, like we work in such a special way. I know exactly how my videos are going viral, and it's just like, sometimes I have to step back and just think about wow, what a cool and special thing it is that of the whole world, I'm like the 0.02, that we're just this big special family. And I was not a religious person growing up, and I was not this super mega proud Jew, but now I am, because I'm just seeing it, and I'm like, wow, we are such a special group of people.
Do you think you're saying it because of the support, or do you think it had October 7th had something to do with it?
It was definitely a combination of both, but just when people stop me on the street or stop me in the store and they're like, my daughter just got rejected from Cornell, she loved your video, you really helped her out. My son's gay and rushing a frat, my mom has really bad anxiety, my dad is involved in money laundering, whatever it is, you guys are laughing, but some of you here it's probably true for. But that's the stuff that gets me out of bed. I'm like, this is my job. How freaking cool is that?
So, do you think you want to be on TV? Deep down, are you there's got to be something that's stirring. You're saying, this is where I want to go.
I think
just be honest.
At some point in my life, I want to be on Broadway. I don't think my career is going to be 8 shows a week. That's pushing it. I want to see my friends and go to the Hamptons. So I don't know what they do. I don't know what Broadway performers do over the summer. I could be in a show for fall. But this is what I love. You guys don't know how much of a treat it is to hear human laughter. When I make my videos, I'm like, they're going to laugh there. But to actually hear it happen live. So the energy exchange of a live audience, whether that's
one-man Broadway show.
Who knows? Or no, put me in the background of something else. I'm easy. I'm not.
I was going to say, you definitely are not.
I'm going to be
It's actually a good point, though. When you are doing your videos, and you're doing it, and you're like, this is so funny, and there's no one there that's.
No.
It's really you. The minute you hit send is when you get the feedback.
Yeah. I'll say, I show it to my parents. I show it to 1 or 2 friends, and I'm like, second 36. Did this resonate with you? And they're like, what? So I try to gauge a little bit, but yeah, it's a crapshoot, and that's it takes a certain kind of person to do social media. So I'm ready for it. Also, what's nice is because I'm doing characters. What people think of the videos, I'm like, that's the character, that's not me. What I really care about is those couple of videos here and there where I'm being myself. Those comments will really affect me, if negative or positive. But I press post, I step back, I put on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I let the views roll in, whatever.
Oh, so that's interesting. So you don't take it to heart when you get some...
You can't. Otherwise, you'll never make the next video.
You're 24 years old saying that. That's 24?
Yeah, but in my past life, I was a Jewish mom, and before that, I was like a rabbi. I'm like 100 years old. Like,
But that's amazing to let that roll.
but you know, it goes back to all those first couple things we were talking about. I've already had it all in my face. You know, I've had the people who didn't want me in the bunk. I've had, you know, I faced it all in real life at much more vulnerable ages. So now, strangers on the internet, when I'm already like good looking and older, it's like I couldn't care less. Like at one point in time, I had acne and braces. Like it's like, give me your worst. I've already had it.
All right, so you know, I think this is an important question. Are you single?
Yes, very single, Heidi. Thank you for asking.
Sorry.
Honestly, I shouldn't say
you
that.
never know. You never know.
You guys set me
Right?
up.
I mean, that's the
no,
best part.
Let me go on a tangent here. I get set up, like Sidex, whatever they're called, 10, 20 a day. 15 with girls. I cannot tell you how many moms are like, my daughter would love you. Oh my God, she'd love you. I'm like, no, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. No, trust me, she's a very good girl. Like, I'm your biggest fan. I'm like, you're not my biggest fan because you haven't seen half my videos. I'm also like, it's so funny how mom will see me like cross-dressing in high heels and it's like, that's who my daughter's gonna marry. So I've had people try to set me up with their dads. It's like a whole thing.
No.
Yes. Then my biggest one is I got the mom who's like, my gay best friend, Gary, you're gonna love him. And I'm like, okay, he's 52. Like, oh, come on. But no, there actually have been needles in the haystack where through my fans, I have gone on a couple of dates, but that's like a whole other game to play because now I'm on the date and I'm like, all right, like this is gonna go back to this person, go back to that person. But I'm single, yeah. Living at my parents' house, like making videos in a room alone, like.
Nothing creepy about that.
Could be better, could be going better, but whatever. I'm in like I'm gonna focus and hunker down on my career era, so. Work first,
Well,
play
I think
later.
you'd be a wonderful companion.
Yeah, it'd be great. Hello? What? Oh my God.
Come on, exactly.
I'd be phenomenal.
So, any regrets? Any regrets with anything that you've done through this whole path that you've taken? I
wish I did it sooner, but no. Maybe I'm being naive, but like no, I'm who I am. I'm a proud Jew. I'm a proud gay man. I'm a proud Long Islander. Like I am what I am. Take me or leave me. No regrets.
I mean, all I know is, I'm not your mom, but I'm really proud of you.
Oh,
I mean,
stop.
I feel like watching you, and I think a lot of us can say that, watching your journey. I feel like this is like another stepping stone, and we're watching somebody who is gonna go and do really, really big things.
God willing. You guys are like, I saw him at Livingston. Yeah, back in 2020. Yeah, he's the new Adam
Packed house
Sandler.
at Livingston, the hottest selling ticket in Livingston.
But thank you.
Max, I think we should all thank Max for taking his time and coming here today.
Thank you guys, really. Thank you guys.
I think, and again, I'm proud of you. I know we're all proud of you. We all love watching you, and we can't wait to see what's next. If you are hearing this message, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm truly grateful for you and this opportunity. The purpose of the Behind the Counter podcast is to bring food, people, and community together. I hope you'll return for more episodes and explore with me. I want to personally thank Fran Linnell of Design 68 for my amazing Behind the Counter podcast logo, and Travis Lohenberg for my awesome Behind the Counter music, and all the guests that take their time to sit and talk with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you hear your podcasts. If you'd like to support the Behind the Counter podcast, please subscribe, share with your friends and family, and you can follow me on Instagram at Heidi Blum. If you have any feedback or stories that you want to share, you can email me at foodsarbtc@gmail.com. If you are hearing this message, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm truly grateful for you and this opportunity. The purpose of the Behind the Counter podcast is to bring food, people, and community together. I hope you'll return for more episodes and explore with me. I want to personally thank Fran Linnell of Design 68 for my amazing Behind the Counter podcast logo, and Travis Lohenberg for my awesome Behind the Counter music, and all the guests that take their time to sit and talk with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you hear your podcasts. If you'd like to support the Behind the Counter podcast, please subscribe, share with your friends and family, and you can follow me on Instagram at Heidi Blum. If you have any feedback or stories that you want to share, you can email me at foodsarbtc@gmail.com.